Hello, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my sunflowers. How are you on this fine Thursday evening? Well, I hope everything with you is well, fine, dandy, hooray. I hope you had a wonderful day. As for me, I'm still suffering with this nightmare of surgery that I had. So it's a week today.
Yes, it is.
I'm better, but I'm not better at all. But I'm better. I'm better enough where I could talk and run off at the mouth. So, of course, with all the excitement and everything going on with P. Diddy and the cases and Cassie and TD Jakes and Oprah Winfrey, Taji P. Henson. May I go on? May I go on, Carly B. And Offset, of course, Krishan Rock got evicted from her house. I mean, all the drama, which was a rented home. But she fooled me. I thought she bought that.
And apparently, that's not Blueface's baby.
What?
Apparently, the
child... Is that real?
That was that.
Now, the last time I heard about that was that he took a swab.
Yes.
So that's what you're going back to?
Yes, that's what I heard, that he had took a DNA test and it came out that the baby was not his.
I don't know about all that. I don't like to do that kind of trivial, but that's the difference between her and me, okay? Yes. So you do you.
Yes.
And I'll do me.
Gotcha.
And that way you both have the balance, because I ain't bringing no rubbish like that, okay? But nevertheless, she's younger than me, so we have to find the balance, okay? Now, with that being said, with all of this chaos, everything going on, guess what? We forgot that Beyonce childhood house burnt down or got burnt or consumed in fire on Christmas Day.
Early Christmas
Day. Baby Crone said at 2:00 in the morning. What? The bewitching hour? Come on. How many coincidence? What is in that house subconsciously that Beyonce don't want nobody to know or want destroyed? I don't believe in coincidence. Now, as many people that done had houses, this one blows up and no one's home. Or they got out safely. The story is still muggy about it. They just threw it out there in the middle of all this chaos. Yes. And nobody thought about it. But I did. I'm telling you, it sounds like a ritual to me. It sounds like a ritual to me. So I want to run some cards here. I'm going to go old school with this one just to see. I mean, okay, I'm a conspiracist. Look, I'm not saying nothing happened, but I wouldn't be a reader if I didn't go in and check in on this. Let's see, I'm going old school. I bought a deck because I know Baby Crone going to ask questions. So I got this.
Yes, I am. I already got my question.
So I have to go in. The creepy and the spooky, I have to go. That is just not no coincidence to me. No. The time, 2:00 in the morning. People were out the house, huh?
On a holy day.
On a holy day. A day that she doesn't worship anymore according to her lemonade. So come on, peoples. So look, let's go. Here it is. Here is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands fell out, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to let this represent Beyonce. Okay, so if I get too many of these court cards, that's just going to mean it's a lot of people because I didn't separate them. I just kept everything in. With that being said, since this is the first card that came out, I guess I can go head on and start reading at that point. Okay, bottom card, talked about it earlier, the Hangman. Okay, so between the Fire and the Hangman, let's talk about this person. This person, this is a knight. And what the knights used to do, they used to take and guard the castle. So they were always around. They were like the police force. They were always, that they did messages. They looked out. That's what they did. So if we look at it in modern times, could this be, just humor me, could this be Beyonce's spirit or soul hovered around that childhood? Or maybe when she go to sleep at night, her memories go back to that childhood. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe subconsciously. I'm not saying they had anything to deal with it. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, we can't forget that Beyonce practiced the arts, okay? So could it have been that there was something that she wanted to destroy? Not nothing physically. That's them bones, sorry. Nothing physically. You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe something spiritually. Maybe she didn't want anybody in her room. Maybe not physically. You understand what I mean? When ghosts haunt, they don't come back and they haunting areas. They are haunting a moment in that area. You understand? That's why the energy is charged. And I'm saying, could this be Beyonce and a haunting? And just destroyed it all? What is it that you think that she may not wanted anybody to share or know or experience? I mean, it's a thought. Is that over? Over?
That is a good question.
That's over.
No.
That's over. That's over.
No, that is not over.
That's over the river and through the woods. That's just too much thought. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I do see. I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I can tell you what I do see, and like I said, with enlightenment, what I do see is this. It seemed like this was a money deal. That whoever did it, this seemed like this was money, because here I see the knight. And next to the knight, I see the 7 of Pentacles, and I see the 4 of Pentacles. And also above it, I see the Joy Cup 3. So this was a celebration time. This seemed like this was a deal. This seemed like this was something that was planned. Somebody planned. This was a deal. And it was an emotional deal. I don't know. It could have just been the people can't pay the rent. The mortgage. I don't know. I'm not saying that people had anything to do with it at all. I'm just reading what the cards are showing me. They're showing me it was a deal. And they're showing me that this was a good way that you could get it to pay out. Looking innocent. But this seemed like this was a money deal. It seemed like it was something that was thought of intently before it was done. And whatever it is, they moved on from it. They're moving on. I don't know if they're going to sell this house. I don't know. But from the looks of it, to me, it just looks like this was a setup, according to the cards. You even have the knight here as if one knight leaving, look. And you have one knight, the one that carries the possessions, standing there watching it all, aware that this is going on. So this was a lucrative move, and from what the cards say. Also, at the time that this burning, it was a celebratory time. It was a celebratory time. It was set. This was all set. It was not no mistake. It was done. It was done for a reason. And whatever it is, it moves on. It was done for a reason. And like I said, whoever, they sit there and watch it burn. I'm saying, to me, what in the world do you think that had to connect with Beyonce? There is a spiritual connection. Think about it. It's a spiritual connection. Even if I'm sitting here and my childhood house burnt, that is a spiritual connection to me. Even though I lived there, I left, I whatever, but we'll see.
Yes, my question is, how does Beyonce feel now? How did Beyonce feel hearing about her childhood home burning?
Wow, that is deep. I'm going to tell you what I see. I'm going to pull up. First card, 5 of Swords. Second card, Seven of Cups, third card, the Sun. What I see about it is relief. Whatever that is, it's like she didn't want to share it. You don't have no say over it really, but it's gone. It's whatever it is, it's purged. Fire purged. So it could be Bill, they can live there. It doesn't matter. It's done. Whatever those energies or whatever was attached to it has been consumed, right? And this is a good thing. This is a good thing. It's like she feels like, I'm sure she may feel bad for the people, but just to think, I'm sure I would feel bad, but all at the same time, whatever energy that you're getting from that house, no longer you can get because it's been destroyed.
That is true, especially if it was haunting her.
Especially if it was haunting. We don't know anything about it. All we know that it just blew up. It took a blaze on Christmas morning.
Yes.
At 2:00 in the morning. That sounds like ritual time. 3, ritual time. 2:00, 3:00, 4:00. Ritual times. Bewitching hours. That's just spooky to me. All right. And nobody was home. Or they got out safely. Sounds like a ritual. Sounds like it was a deal. Sound like it was a plan. Anything else?
Yes, my next question is, I'm curious if this is Beyonce's sacrifice for the Illuminati.
So Baby Crone wants to know, is this a sacrifice? We have justice, poverty, and we have, again, moving on. So if I have to look at this and I have to look at it to Illuminati, according to her question. Yes. So I have to go in Illuminati mode, right? Yes. Now let me tell you how you have to say it. So as far as if I had to look at it from the conspirators, from an Illuminati position, right? That would mean that you would have to do something that would cause a sacrifice or cause a hardship on someone else. Right? In order for me to allow for you to move on, to move up in rank. Okay. Am I right? So let's say, hey, I did set a thing for that house to get burnt up. It didn't kill anybody. I made sure of that, but all at the same time, I know that it put them at the hardship. Even though I know that they'll get their money, I'll take care of them so I can move on. So there was something done that would be considered a sacrifice. If I'm looking at it from the Illuminati. Yes, it isn't nothing you can't ask me that these cards won't talk. I D-dog double dare you. Go head on and tell me, can't you see it?
Yes, I could definitely see it.
The head leaders, if think about it, if I have to do something, I need to do something. I need to make a stir. I need to do something reckless that's going to hurt someone or put somebody at a disadvantage. What about my old childhood house? I'm not saying this is all hypothesis. This is theories. This is us thinking, okay? We're not saying Beyonce had anything to do with this, but I cannot allow this to go by and we didn't dissect this. Come on. That was in our face.
So it was, and it got brushed over.
It just got brushed over. That's what made me go, wait a minute. They threw it in the middle of all this chaos. They didn't have to tell us, but remember, spiritually, they always got to tell us something. If it's something spiritual and it affects us in any way, we have to know about it. So they threw it in there, like to say, it's not a big deal, but we just want you to know Beyonce childhood house got burned up. That's all we want you to know. And we were so caught up with the Jay-Z and me and Ben and all this chaos going on. I didn't think about it until I was sitting there today, and I'm like, how we let Beyonce house get by us?
That is honestly true. Because just like she felt relieved, we were kind of just like, oh, that's sad.
They slipped it right on in by us. So yeah, it may have put somebody at an inconvenience, but not really. Because if they got insurance, they're well taken care of. I mean, it's horrible. Though I'm not downing that at no means, but this is a conspiracy reading. You have another question. I hope this is your last one.
Yes, my last question will be...
All these are conspiracies there. This is hypothesis. We're not saying it's true, but I'm telling you, come on, think about it. That just slipped in there out of nothing on Christmas morning at 2:00. Nobody was injured. They just threw it out there to us. And we were so caught up. Nobody caught it. I'm not saying nobody caught it, but you know what I mean. Nobody really talked about it. Okay.
Yes, baby's Crones conspiracy. I got another one that popped into my mind.
Okay, this is all conspiracy. That's all it is.
Yes. Could Beyonce had done this to save Jay-Z's reputation?
Like how? How would that be?
Because Jay-Z was tied into the Diddy and the gay parties and the freak-offs. So maybe in order to save Jay-Z from going down.
You know what? Play something. You know what? I got a queen. I got another 5. And I got contract. So what that tell me? Yes. I think it was done because here we see the 5 and here we see the 5. And that's warring. But it's like, yes, as to appease the God.
And another 5 in the middle.
Oh my God. What was the 3 5s meant? I forgot.
I cannot remember.
But anyway.
That's definitely friction.
It's definitely friction. And although 5s are very good numbers, they're always about when you at a 5, either you're going to sink or swim. I'm hungry. So if you heard that, I'm hungry. All right. So either you're going to sink or swim with these 5s. So these are good numbers, 5, because they are the balance that let you know things about to change, things about to turn in your favor. Something's about to turn around. You done hit the rock bottom. You done had the fight. Now 5s deal with, we done dealt with it. Now we're going to deal with the aftermath. You can only go up with a 5. You can't go back. You understand what I'm saying? So when I think about this, it seems like there, I have to be honest, there seemed like there was some kind of ritual was done. And it sounded like it was probably, it was something that they wanted not to be shared. So yes, and I definitely see, yes. To me, this was a ritual. This was a ritual done. For what? Why? Why though? Why? Why would they care?
Why the childhood home?
Why the childhood home? I hear just because, but the magician, like I said, just because. The magician, when I say just because, I can do it because I can. I can do it because I have the power to do it. I want to do it. I need a sacrifice. This is it. No one was hurt. I'm not saying this is all conspiracies. I made this clear, okay? So just because, again, looking back, but leaving it. You know what? It's just this is the 7, right?
Yes.
And this is the 5. They look so much alike.
They do.
But one of them is like running off with goods. So this was done. This was something that was deliberately done. So if no other reason I'm reading, this was deliberately done. This was deliberately done. And the Hierophant. And so, you know, the Hierophant is always about conformity. It's always about conformity. It's always about going and asking whatever your need is and getting, and let the Hierophant hear your need. So this all seems like, to me, this was something that even though they didn't have anything to do with it directly, I think that there is some kind of connection to this house that they wanted gone. Could have been the energy. I don't know, but it was something about it. I think it also had to do with what you said about a sacrifice, a petty sacrifice, coming up with something off the cuff, a petty sacrifice. I truly do believe that. However, like I said, everything I say is allegedly. This has nothing to do with Beyonce. This is us just trying to figure it out. It just caught my attention and I couldn't help it. I had to go in and see. Now, maybe you like these things and maybe you don't. But for me, it's a, hey, here, I see something behind this story. That is no coincidence about that house. That house was planned. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you for joining us. Sunflowers.